Hello everyone, how you doing? Welcome back. I hope you're all doing really well and you've had a fantastic week this week. I'm Lindsay, your host of the Heavy Metal Journal and writer for the Moshville Times. And today I am back with New Metal Monday, where I talk about my favourite new releases of the week. And compared to last week's video, this week is a lot quieter. However, I still have 5 brand new albums that I want to talk about. So let's jump straight into these. Okay, so first up on today's list, and straight off the bat, I have no idea if I'm pronouncing this correctly or not, but I have Heruvim with Mercator. And this is the debut album from the old school death metal band from Ukraine. Now, this album was written and recorded during the ongoing war with great difficulty, considering especially half the band were dealing with hostile environments and the other half of the band were abroad and had to work remotely. But regardless of the obstacles and regardless of the dangers that were involved, they have put together an absolutely fantastic yet brutally heavy death metal album. Now, this album was heavily inspired by the works of David Lynch, in particular Twin Peaks and Inland Empire, so there's a lot of anger, rage and power behind this album. But even though it is very politically charged, at the same time they do deal with a lot of aspects of humanity. What you can expect from this album is a lot of old school death metal grooves. So you have a lot of your really cool stompy stomp moments with their catchy hooks, but you've also got the brutality, you've got that frantic energy, chugging riffs, slamming bass lines, the blast beats are absolutely insane in this, and the guttural growls are demonic, but they're also quite despairing at the same time. This is an incredibly heavy album, not just in terms of the metal itself, but also in the subject material. Plus a quick shout out to this album artwork, which is incredibly evil but stunning at the same time. So if you are a fan of the likes of Pestilence, Bolt Thrower or a little bit of death, this one is definitely for you, but definitely check this one out, especially if you really like your heavy groove old school death metal. This is an absolutely fantastic debut. Definitely check this one out. Okay, so next up on today's list, I have Unaligned with A Form Beyond. And this is the debut album from the blackened technical death metal band from the US. Now, this is the epitome of technical death metal, but with a blackened edge. I'm really fussy when it comes to technical death metal, but this is absolutely outstanding. The riffs are so intricate and detailed. The solos are screaming, the thunderous blast beats just go on forever, and the bass lines are incredibly dense. Those guttural growls are enormous, but they also mix things up with goblin-like screams that take that blackened form. It's aggressive, it's intense, and it has a lot of built-up frantic energy, but also there's a lot of melodic passages as well, which are incredibly artistic, that breaks things up a little bit and keeps you hooked into this album. It's the guitar tones that really drew me into this album. Not only are they incredibly intricate and detailed with a lot of really cool time signatures, they're beautifully melodic at the same time as being technically aggressive. And they've struck that balance incredibly well, and it really does keep you hooked in. And again, this album artwork is absolutely stunning too. So if you are a fan of the likes of Warforged, Inferi or Veil of Panath, you're definitely going to want to get onto this one, but I absolutely loved this. This is fantastic technical death metal with all the intricacies that come with the subgenre, but with just enough melodics and rhythm underneath to keep you hooked in. Definitely check this one out. Okay, so next up on today's list, I have Nicolas Cage Fighter with I Watched You Burn. And this is the second studio album from the metallic hardcore metal band from Australia. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, it was the name of the band that drew me in. I was absolutely and utterly fascinated by the name of the band. Now, normally I don't tend to recommend a lot of hardcore subgenres on this channel. Not that there's anything wrong with them, it's just not normally my taste. But these guys had me hooked. Wave after wave of breakdowns. The breakdowns in this album are unreal, and all the riffs constantly. This is a very guitar-driven record with a lot of really cool riffs and amazing solos. But when I said wave after wave of breakdowns, I mean it. This is an absolute face melter. But not only does it grab you by the jugular, there's a lot of rich melodics in this. This is ridiculously catchy. It's thunderous, It's heavy, it's going to pummel you into submission, but it's going to get you moving. This is the kind of album that you just want to completely rage out to, but it's really groovy. There's a lot of really cool stompy stomp moments, as well as the absolutely amazing breakdowns, and the guitar tones are outstanding. The vocal style is incredibly powerful. Those rasping screams and growls really linger, and they have so much passion behind them. This is a highly energetic album. It's gonna get you moving, and like I said before, it just makes you want to rage out completely. So if you're a fan of the likes of Malevolence, Bleed From Within, or Thigh Art Is Murder, this one is definitely for you, but definitely check it out, especially if you're not normally a fan of the hardcore subgenres, not just because of the absolutely fantastic band's name, but for the music itself. It's fun, it's bouncy, but it's incredibly brutal and so unbelievably catchy. Definitely check this one out. Okay, so next up on today's list, I have der Weg Einer Freiheit with Unaligned, and this is the 6th studio album from the black metal band from Germany. Now, if I pronounced that incorrectly, I am so sorry. I decided just to go for it without my brain thinking about it too much, so if I've butchered that, I do apologise. But this album is fantastic. It's bleak, it's brooding, it's incredibly melancholic, but so harsh and brutal at the same time. I absolutely loved this album. I love my atmospheric melodic black metal, but there's also a lot of post-metal elements in this. It is a prime example of an album changing things up halfway through, so it's very diverse. So yes, it does have a lot of that very harsh, cold black metal element with the tremolo picking and the blast beats and the rasping screams and growls, but you've also got the artistic side of things, which is very serene and ethereal, and clean vocals do make their appearance throughout a little bit. It is primarily the guttural growls and screams and the venomous snarls and rasps, but when those clean vocals come in, they really do add to the atmosphere. Not to mention, there's quite a lot of very well placed keyboards throughout. It's not oversaturated, and it really adds to that atmosphere. So if you like your very bleak, melancholic, yet brutally heavy and ridiculously catchy melodic black metal with a lot of atmosphere and post-metal elements, this one is definitely for you, especially if you are a fan of likes of Immortal, Wolves in the Throne Room, and Winterfilleth. Definitely check this one out. I absolutely loved this album. Okay, so last up on today's list, but certainly by no means least, I have Sorrowful Land with Hiraeth. And this is the 4th studio album from the melodic death doom metal project from Ukraine. Now, yes, this is another solo project. I love my solo projects, and this one is outstanding. Now, at the time of recording and editing this video, this album was not available on Spotify, at least in my country, so it won't be included in the Spotify playlist, but I will make sure that it's linked as a Bandcamp link in the description box below. But this is absolutely stunning. It's incredibly melancholic, very emotive, incredibly powerful, and it has a lot of beautiful energy about it. The doom metal side of things has this commanding, opulent presence with very dense melodics, and it's incredibly gothic, but the death metal side of things makes it crushing. The guitar tones in this are absolutely stunning, and again, I love these solo projects. The amount of talent that are coming out of these solo projects is absolutely amazing. This one really does grab your attention, and you get lost in it completely when you're listening to it. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have any audio available for this album, so you're going to have to just take my word for it and go and check it out for yourself. But if you are a fan of the likes of Swallow the Sun, Insomnium, and the very doomy side of Paradise Lost, this one is definitely for you. Loved everything about this. Again, a very quick reminder that this will not be included on the Spotify playlist because it wasn't available at the time of editing and recording. But definitely check it out. I loved this. It's stunning. And that's it for this week's very rambly again New Metal Monday. Once again, comment down below to let me know what you think of today's records. And if you have any of your own recommendations, please let me know and I will definitely get them added to my list. Make sure to follow the Spotify playlist that I've got linked in the description box below. I update that every single Monday with all of the albums that I talk about on these videos, as long as they are available on Spotify. So definitely give that a follow. If you don't use Spotify, I have included the band's Bandcamp links or their YouTube channels in the description box below as well. If you want to follow me on social media, please feel free to do so. All of my handles are in the description box, and I am a lot more active over on social media. Thank you all so much for your support and the ever-changing backdrop. I'm still going through a lot of renovation and decorating work in my house, so this is probably going to change a little bit for quite some time yet, but we will settle down eventually. Thank you all so much for your support. I will see you soon in my next video.